Like, how do you feel about? Let's play one. How do you like? How do you,
No, I can't do it.
How do you
I'm
feel about
terrible at
ferries?
Improv.
Ferries, like New
You
York
mean
City,
ferries?
like boat ferries.
I thought you meant little ferries.
Oh, let's do
You mean
both.
Flying ferries.
I bet you don't have an opinion on flying ferries, do you?
Well, I mean,
Welcome everybody to Dan Loves Chat. My name is Dan Geneen. This is Brenda Cullerton. Say hi. Brenda is my very wonderful friend, and she joins me for as many of these podcasts as I can force her to do, strong arm, without asking for too many, so she starts to resent it. On these episodes, unlike the ones with the chefs and the food people, I think I do a little more talking. We have a little banter. We often talk about therapy and discipline and fitness.
all this before you scamper.
Yeah. And Brenda likes to get out of here around 45 minutes of recording tops. So however long this is, that's about how long I was able to entrap her in this room. And I hope you enjoy the episode. If you do, please like and subscribe. And check out my comedy special that just dropped on Don't Tell
Brilliant.
Comedy. And thank you so much. Enjoy.
Yeah, see, we're late. I told you. We're fucking late. We're always... You got to think about that, being late. I'm telling you. Got to deal with it in therapy. Where should I put this? Is this annoying for the...
I know. I have to deal with being late in therapy.
Wiping the forehead like this. I do want you to know I just heard one thing last night, very fascinating, from a shrink, young shrink. And apparently, shrinks now do a last will and testament in the sense that in case they die or are ill, they do a legal document that puts the names of all of their patients and assign it to another therapist.
No.
So there's no gap between death and the patient continuing their therapy.
I had
thought
no
that
idea.
was amazing. Neither did I. I'd never heard it before. I don't think it's always existed either. I think it's something kind of new. But yeah, I don't know.
God forbid the patients would.
What? Be sad the shrink is dead?
Does it release all of their information too?
No. I mean, what doesn't release all your information now? Excuse me, you buy a pair of shoes on
No,
the
I'm
internet.
just saying, like,
know.
let's say, God forbid, your shrink dies and you are so reliant on your therapist that it's crucial that you don't miss a week.
Yeah, well, they fill in the blank right away.
But does it give them a little, like, synopsis?
You mean of
Because you get there.
No, of course.
Gives them all the notes?
I don't know if it gives... No, okay, that I don't know if it gives them all the notes, but I'm certainly sure that it gives them some of the notes so they know where to pick up.
It's crazy because
right?
you can't even get a fucking referral from a therapist these days, so it's amazing. Like, so that's the question you got to ask. Hey, who would you send me to if you died?
Yeah, no, really, if you keeled over on the way out of here. I don't know why they're so reluctant to do that. That used to be very easy. They were happy to recommend somebody else.
Yeah.
The
therapy conversation I had was so interesting. It was about, so I met this woman who was studying psychology, and I basically was asking her if she was, bullish on the future of therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that the future of therapy, yes, but there's just so many bad therapists. Of course, we've covered this. But she said that the whole point that good therapy is like the amount you have to remain egoless. There's a couple main points she made. One, it's about where you get your fulfillment. Do you get your fulfillment from the fix or from knowing you're doing good work? She said that majority of therapists get their fulfillments from that light bulb moment, which is actually not where you should get it, because you can push someone towards it. Exactly. So nothing that you ever tell someone is going to stick. It's only things that they come up with truly from a breakthrough.
Huh.
Right? So advice actually from a therapist doesn't work. She said that. She said this is so interesting, that because so many people know so much about therapy now, and so many people are good at giving advice, so many people give advice, that contemporary therapists, like pretentious ones, and she said one of the problems with the field is that they actually have started acting a little bit more sophisticated with more insane language to attempt to differentiate themselves from the fact that anyone
can speak the language.
Anyone can speak the language.
It's like being a lawyer. Or it's all.
And then I talk about no ego, by the way, but we came up with this visual metaphor, which I kept saying, we came up with this metaphor, and she was like, you came up with the visual. And I was like, yeah, but it was us. And she was like, yeah, but you want us to take credit for it. Like, it was you, But she said that therapy is like a light. What do you call it? The guy who holds the light, like a on the river, the watchman or whatever,
Like the
who's holding
lighthouse?
lighthouse, but I
Okay,
don't know,
the guy
whatever.
on the river holding a light.
Someone who's
I'm not
holding a
familiar with
big
that.
bright light,
Okay,
but in an old school sense,
right,
they lead you around with the light. But that's all a therapist should do, right? They never.
right,
So I said it's almost like they have to lead from behind. Whatever direction you go, they hold the light, but
right.
but
But they
they
have to
can't
do it.
steer.
Yeah, they can't be the ones leading,
And
just pushing.
exactly, or suggesting or not. But
Right.
the point is that the person has to circle around themselves, and then then the therapist helps them understand what they see, but the
Okay.
therapist can't tell them what direction to
Well, no,
go.
that definitely makes sense. Of course,
But
they're
all
not
these
supposed to do that.
therapists I've had have just been telling me what to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Including the one that you like downtown, the fancy
We'll
guy?
see. Yeah.
You'll see. Okay. I mean, the only thing I remember about therapy when it worked was those very sort of those aha moments
Yeah.
when I was suddenly able to make a connection that I hadn't made before. And then the question that I would always leave with was, did she get me there, or is this something that just from living with it for so long, I was finally able to understand something that was, ruining my life or whatever, the pattern. I was able to recognize the pattern. But I was thinking in terms of what I was mentioned that I wanted to talk about very briefly, the thought of a pop-up therapy. I'm wondering if, for instance, they would line up
Oh,
the
amazing.
way I am seeing people line up right now.
So like a
Every
Kardashian
day
X
in
therapy
Manhattan.
van that's just waiting on the street,
Exactly.
and you
Like
go
that.
in and do an hour.
Yeah. Or like that big, huge Jewish van that goes all over town with the music and the bar mitzvah van? I don't know what it's called.
The mitzvah tank, yeah.
I would think that the lines would be so much worse than even what I have to wrestle my way through every morning. I mean, I think this was over the weekend, which was no kings. And, I do the power walk, as you already know. And I was just desperately trying to fucking get from 14th Street to 23rd Street. No, and we're talking around the block for a free hunk of cheese, around the block, for a fragrance snifter from Prada, butterbeer next to Harry Potter. What was the other one?
Wait,
I
wait,
made
wait.
lining up for
So
fucking
can
butterbeer.
you just explain what you're sick and tired? You're sick and tired of what?
It's insane. It's
What
become
is it?
like
What
Mad
is it?
Max out there. Well, this is the problem to me, is if these kids were willing to hit the streets the same way they're hitting these fucking lines for a free hunk of chain, geez, we might still have a democracy. I mean, that they are willing to spend that much time. That's not even going to restaurants. You know what I'm saying? It's out of control. I mean, I did have a joke, of course, if I still ever did stand up anymore. That would just be, I don't know if you've heard, but of course, Trump has sent ICE agents in to control the lines, pause, at Mimi's Yogurt. Not at TSA, not at the fucking airport, but yeah. And I think that this is appalling. Okay, I know appalling is my favorite word in these podcasts, but
Hunk of cheese.
you don't. I mean, you don't see these lines.
I just need you to clarify to the people what are you talking about vans?
It's called brand activation. That's what the
just
slogan
tell
is.
us you're sick and tired of the brand.
Yeah, I am sick and tired of the goddamn brand activations. I mean, I didn't even know what they were until somebody finally explained after I'd been doing this Mad Max marathon, 5 times a week,
And that
what they
means
were lining up for.
Those buses with 2 brands collaborating on a thing,
Yeah.
and then people go into the bus.
What do they come out with?
A freebie.
It's going to change. Exactly. They come out with a freebie.
Or like they get their makeup done.
Well, that's a big commitment. I don't think they're ever as generous as that.
Mm.
I mean, these are stingy companies. No, really. Who must be reveling in the fact people are standing out in the pouring rain and whatever. I mean, the first time I ever saw a line like that must have been 8 years ago. It was outside Barnes & Noble. It was at 8:30 in the morning, and at first I was like, oh, my God.
Books are back.
Exactly. Books, this is fabulous. So I said to somebody in the line, what book are you waiting for? Oh, we're into the YouTube author on... And I said, the what author? The YouTube I mean, this is huge part of publishing now is YouTube, as you already know from your, multi-social media experience. But that was where the
But that's
beginning
still an
of the
author.
end
That's still an
was.
author.
No, it's not a fucking author. I mean, excuse me. They're writing romantasy. Is that what it's called? Not that I'm knocking romantasy, I suppose, in these days. But my point is, something's happened to people. Because I don't know anyone, even millennials, actually, who are really willing to do this big time. These have got to be Zers. Got to be. And
Do what big time?
Stand in line.
Okay.
It's like, so what do you do? I stand in line.
Yeah,
I mean, if somebody ever asked me what my job was, that's what I'd say. It's completely unhinged, is all I can say. I mean, it just makes me very sad. I mean, it's certainly, of course, I didn't march in No Kings. I do have to say that. But on the day of No Kings, it just seemed particularly obvious to me that this shouldn't be a priority. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But back to the brand, like
Yeah.
what about like when you see, I don't know if you've seen, but like when a new movie or like a makeup brand or something will take over that area of Astor Place and build like a house.
Yeah, not the whole thing. And they also do it at Flatiron. They do it at Union Square. They build these structures of like,
Yeah.
what do I think of it? What the fuck do you think I think of it? Stupid waste of money. No, but honestly, that, and I understand that apparently, although you could fool me, it's gotten harder to sell shit.
Yes.
Well, but I don't believe that, because if it were that hard, they wouldn't be standing in line for 2 hours
For free shit.
for free hunks of cheese. They just wouldn't.
It's harder to stand out in a crowd of marketing now. So like something that you interact with is a big deal. Like stunts are a huge deal. People.
Right.
Organic.
Yeah, I hate that fucking word. Organic.
Do you hate the word organic?
Oh, God, it's such a lie. It's a lie. It's like, this isn't organic. This has been planned by strategy teams for 6 weeks before they get out there.
Yeah.
And they call it organic. I mean, it's like all of those delis out in Bed-Stuy.
I have a friend. Yeah.
Way out in Bed-Stuy that are all they're all organic delis.
Of course.
You know what they really are is, one guy was very smart, and he sold a canopy to every single dude on Nostrand, saying, if you turn it into an organic deli, you'll get twice. Because it's exactly the same deli. They just add the magic word.
Right. If you put it on the whole building,
Organic.
you don't have to actually follow the... There's no FDA. Imagine the FDA walked in there.
We don't have an FDA anymore. So,
Well,
once
double
upon a time-
imagine. Double
Yeah,
imagine.
double imagine.
Imagine there was an FDA
That's right. And
and they walked in there.
I like that thought. I like to imagine that.
They hold up the Coca-Cola.
But the other thing that's the most ironic, is that there's that part of me that's, of course, come very late in life to discovering that, I need to be a brand. You need to be a brand.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how do you activate that brand? I mean, there's a part of me that would love it if people were lined up on the streets for 2 hours, in order to, like, activate me, in order to see me. And, that's another place where all the boundaries have blurred. We're not talking about paper towels anymore or cheese and perfume. We're talking
Brenda
about
Cullerton.
humans.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I'm always in the wild. So, and so are you.
You're in the wild, but you're not actually greedy enough. Like you need more.
I'm not hungry.
You're
enough,
not hungry
I
enough.
guess.
You need more. But some of the best stuff like this. But what would you? But the thing is, if you were a brand,
Yeah.
then you would be able to monetize the brand. And what would you even want to sell? Like you.
What would I want to sell?
Yeah. Like why do you
What
even? Why do you
product,
even
you
want to be?
mean?
Why would you even want to be a brand? Because
But you know why? Because I'd like to end up in a stadium in the dark with everyone, their phones up full of light like that, and doing. That's why I'd like to be a brand.
I would go if there was a stadium show of you on stage, and then the big screen just had topics, and then everything went black, and it was just a spotlight on you, and then it
Great
said like
idea.
seagulls, and you go like the thing about seagulls,
The prompt.
the prompt,
That's fucking brilliant, dude.
prompts with Brenda.
Oh my God, I love it. Is all I could say.
Yeah,
Dark and then the prompt.
like how do you feel about? Let's play one. How do you like? How do
No,
you,
no, I can't do it.
How do you
because
feel
I'm
about
terrible at
ferries?
Improv.
Ferries, like New
You
York
mean
City,
ferries?
like boat ferries.
I thought you meant little fairies.
Oh, let's do both.
Flying fairies.
I bet you don't have an opinion on flying ferries, do you?
Well, I mean, No, I don't. So let's get back to the kind that float in the water. I love ferries. They're one of my favorite things. It's also free. It's a great way to escape. Antidote for depression, better than Prozac. Um, yeah, you feel like you're actually going somewhere, and it's not the fucking L train. Ferries are great.
Right, because you're moving, because
Very
you're
good.
outside.
And exactly,
Yeah.
you're moving. I guess that's mostly what it is.
You
You're
like to
moving.
be in motion
Yes, as you know,
with the wind.
all the time,
Yeah.
with or without the wind.
Have you ever done the ferries where you drive your car onto it, park your car
Of
underneath,
course,
and go upstairs? It's one of, I love it.
Oh, I mean, it's very exotic. It's something that's become a very exotic experience.
We had the worst ferry ever in Canada for a while. There was a ferry.
No, couldn't have been. Not like those ones in Indonesia that kill 3,000 people when they turn over.
No, that sounds worse.
In bright sunshine.
What
But
happens
go
to
on.
those?
They all die.
Oh, God.
No, really, it's totally true.
Yeah, it's a ferry to the other side.
It's exactly into the underworld
Oh, God.
with Charon.
That's still happening?
Sure, of course, it's
No.
still happening. Well, how could you say that when you see planes with the exact same thing happening?
I
Why
just
are you
haven't heard
surprised
about these
ferries?
Indonesian ferries.
Well, no, you probably don't. You don't follow ferries, okay? It's not a prompt word for you when you look at
I think
the
if
news.
3,000 people died anywhere,
I think it was 1,000. It might not. That would have been a very big ferry if it was 3,000.
they're like,
If you're a
look,
big
we
ferry.
lost the 1,000-person ferry, so we have an idea. We're gonna build a bigger one.
They're like the A380, like the airplane with 895
Oh, God,
people on
who's
it.
Boeing makes the ferries?
Yeah, exactly. With no whistleblower, unfortunately.
Oh, God,
If only.
just a horn blower.
Yeah, no, I won't. I won't take American Airlines anymore. Any American airline.
Really?
Nope, it's an Airbus or
Delta?
bust. Oh, fuck. One of the worst. They're one of the worst.
I'm Double Diamond.
It doesn't matter, double diamond, when you're diving down. You know what I'm saying? Towards the sea because there's a boat loose. D. I mean,
You don't
really.
think they'd grab me first on the way down?
Who? Who would grab you? The ferries?
The ferries, yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Well, at least I'll be able to eat meatloaf on my way down
Oh, well,
instead of just
if it
bagged
didn't
snacks.
kill your attitude, yes, exactly. Or, your fear factor.
Right.
Yeah, no, I always say, bring back boats, bring back ships, bring back ferries. And it's amazing in New York City that nobody thought of using ferries until 20 years ago. I mean, in terms of getting to over there, Brooklyn. And now they run all the time. Well, this is unbelievably boring conversation.
I don't think so.
About
I think it
ferries.
proves the point. It proves the point.
What point?
Maybe the
What was
last
point?
20 seconds of things you said, maybe we don't
Oh.
need, but the rest of it was amazing. Have you had any? I mean, it's a great place to smoke a cigarette. Not that you do that.
On ferries?
Yeah.
Well, no, you can't smoke on ferries.
You can't?
Fuck no. Are you kidding me? It's completely verboten. Is all
Not on the back?
Although now you can drink. They've brought back drinking on this. That should be fun. Staten Islanders getting drunk at 5 o'clock.
They always say that's one of the great free things to do. Go back and forth from Staten to Staten
It is.
Island on the ferry.
I can't say I do it all the time, but I do it a lot.
We should do that.
We should do
We'll
that.
film it. Okay, the reason the one in Canada is so bad is because we had a ferry that brought you from, so in downtown Toronto, we have a downtown Toronto airport. I don't know if you know that.
Yes. No, of course I fucking know that you have an airport. Oh, in the city,
In
you
the
mean.
city.
Right.
In the city. So it's a
Right.
small airport. You wouldn't know
Right.
unless you'd flown to Toronto a ton of times. But it's getting bigger. And it's on an island. They call it the Toronto Island Airport. And it's only probably, I don't know, a quarter mile, maybe.
From the city.
Oh, if that, a tenth of a mile from land. So you needed, before they built a tunnel underneath, there was a ferry, but everyone was just so annoyed on the ferry because they were going back and forth from the airport. So it was a miserable ferry riding experience.
Oh, because it was the airport.
It was just the airport, yeah.
No, the destination sucks.
The destination sucks.
Definitely true.
My point was, by the way, that I could say some random word that could be your brand.
Yeah, no, I mean,
one's
it's a
better
very
at that.
funny idea.
No one's better at that than you are.
It's a very funny idea. I mean, I have to say that I listen all the time to the Men in the Street interviews that are about stupidity. I
don't even know what that means.
Oh my God, I'm hooked on it. I was watching yesterday one of them where the guy stopped the girl and said, what is the country to the south of the United States? Name a country to the south of the United States.
Oh, right.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Where people just say the dumbest
Africa.
things. Yeah.
She said fucking Africa. He asked somebody else, what's the capital of France? And they said Sicily. I mean, we wonder why we have Trump. I mean, I'm addicted to them. And I think they're organic, D. I mean, I'm sure some of them are made up or whatever, but the ones I watch, man.
Well, that's how it starts. It starts with people actually being dumb, and then the next is the OnlyFans girls pretending to be dumb, so
Right.
people think it
Yeah.
looks organic.
Oh, OnlyFans. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Boy, there are
And
millions
then
of
next after that, Zoran's doing it.
them.
And
Before
then
you know it.
and then he goes, "Funny you should ask, because I want to talk to you about transportation."
Yeah, you're right. You're
And you
right.
can't.
No, you're right. It's
Nothing's organic for long, because when things really work, I mean, that's the thing with subway takes, right? Like at first it was just kind of random people doing subway takes, and
Yeah.
now it got so big that it's
Yep.
that it's like how can random people get on when every single celebrity in the world wants to get on?
Practically impossible.
Yeah.
Except for Lord Sco.
First, Lord,
Okay.
sure. Yeah, I mean, in terms of developing your brand, what's the worst of the activations that you've ever seen? Like the dumbest? Has there been any that have been really dumb, of the big vans that have parked up?
You don't call yogurt dumb. You don't call like
I mean, yogurt's not dumb.
meditation. I mean, how much time you think they're going to spend meditating? Okay, in one
In
of
the
those
van?
trailers in that van, unless they're like molesting them or something. Unless it's like a cover for. I mean, everyone the Butterball beer. That's
outside
part
Harry
of
Potter?
Exactly, outside Harry Potter. They're all stupid.
Do you hate
beyond
the word
belief.
activation?
No, it was a term made up in a strategy session at some ad agency. I mean, it. But the other thing that's so weird is that it's so inhuman. The term
Activation.
is so
Robotic.
brand activate. What's it got to do with being a human? Or selling what you need to get, or
The original sort of brand activation was just if you were releasing a new beverage, to walk around on the street with
Yes,
the coolers and
that's
just
right.
give out the beverage.
Yes, they still do that. They
Yes.
still do that.
Yeah.
What I'm waiting
Do you
for.
do you hate that?
No. I mean that was okay because you literally got something you could drink, whether it was water or Gatorade or what I mean.
You know what
gave
the
you the real
best
thing.
the best of that was? When you already liked a product and they were like, "Hey, have you ever tried this?" And you're like, "No." And they're like, "We're giving them out." And you get one. You're like, "All right, great. I already like
Sure,
it."
absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, yes, because you've been loyal to start with.
That's the one. You want to know the one thing I really wimped out at in my life?
Well,
My dad's sort of friend ran this company in Canada where they were doing brand activations, and
Right.
his main client was this company called Red Rain, which is a Canadian Red Bull knockoff.
got it.
And they built a fire truck covered in the Red Lane or Red Rain logos and stuff like that. And my dad thought it would be a good job for me. I was probably 14 or 15 to go and help with these.
Demand the truck.
No, demand the truck when they do these activations.
Yeah.
But we were going to like the beach at Thunder Bay in northern Ontario,
Oh my
or not northern
God.
Ontario, but like outside of Toronto, to these places that are just like nasty party beaches.
Right.
And
right.
so my job was to hand out red rains and then take a photo of people holding the red rain. And I did it for one day. And all these guys would fuck with me. They would take I just remember like 5 guys. I'd be like, "Okay, you guys want to take a photo or something?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, fuck you, homo," or whatever. Like one guy just pulled, like, he was like, I tried to hand him a red rain and he just like pulled his pants down and like shook his dick. Like, and
Jesus, I don't blame you.
I did not have a fun time. And I really
my God.
was quite nervous going up to people to even offer them. It was a good sell. Do you guys want an energy drink?
Right. No, but it's doing the selling that's hard. It doesn't matter what you're selling.
It was a free.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
This is even more ironic. It's hard doing the sell, even when whatever. Even
It
when
got
it's free.
easier throughout the day because you start to get desensitized. One of the theories, or one of the things I think about all the time that I find so fascinating is, like, I don't know if anyone's coined it, but the idea, like, the people at TSA
Yeah.
who deal with hundreds of people or thousands of people a day, right? Like, sometimes you get one of them and they're really grumpy. Often they're really grumpy. And people take it personally, and they don't understand that, like, that person at TSA is not talking to you. They're talking to the 1,000 people
Right.
that they've dealt with that
Right.
day. So you get a
Right,
lash
right,
out.
right,
It's
right.
not about you. It's about
Yeah, of course.
right. So
That makes perfect. You're so right.
I find that so interesting.
But I mean, everybody looks at TSA as an obstacle. I mean, every single person who approaches a TSA, agent is thinking in terms of
Combative.
this is exactly.
Yeah.
I'm late for my flight. Is he going to ask me too many questions? They don't give a damn. I mean, what a horrible job. Horrible job. A job though that I'm very interested to see now that they're getting paid, if he's going to pull TSA out of the airports. or if he was just looking for a way to get him in. ICE.
ICE into the airports?
Yeah. I mean, that would be a pretty scary reality if, in fact, because it's like everything else. Once it's in there, a lot of trouble pulling it out.
Yeah. What's the weird? Have you ever had any really weird interactions with TSA? Sometimes they're like singing and stuff.
Canada.
In Canada.
I was put in detention for eating an apple in
What?
front of a customs agent.
Did you do it in a way that was...
Missed my flight.
Were you doing it as a protest?
Well, no. I just was obviously disrespectful and way too casual as I was approaching law enforcement, chewing on the apple. And the guy was such a bastard. I mean, he couldn't wait. He couldn't wait to say, "Not sure when you're going to be leaving this detention room, miss." For eating an apple. I think that's the biggest confrontation I've ever had with
Did you approach him eating
authority.
an apple?
Well, I was waiting in line,
Yeah.
and then I was next in line. I took a little bite before I went up to him. I guess that was the problem. Total disrespect. The other problem, of course, is I'm American, and Canadians hate Americans, and I don't blame them. So, that was part of it, too. That was part of the package. But the sadism when I would say, do you think I could leave now? It's been 45 minutes, and, you just kind of, no, not quite yet. And there's nothing you can do. I mean, when somebody's in charge like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, you have to be, my mother always used to say, beware of little people with a little power, because they're the worst. I never forgot it. She's been right, all the way down the line. Because we've been talking very fast, and it's time to go. It's
What time is it? 2:30.
Yep. Look at that. Unbelievable.
I think we had some gems.
Well, I probably won't see them for 5 months. And when I do see them, you won't give them to me. So this all sucks, this new thing. Because you said yes, 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 and then you didn't.
The gym thing didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. I promise you. As much as your own people would have loved it,
I have a lot of my own people.
I know, but I'm telling you, the metrics on it were so bad.
Okay. Let's lead with that.
Yeah.
Your metrics suck, Brenda.
No, your metrics are
Welcome
fantastic.
everybody to
I'm telling you that it's just the way the lead in was wrong.
Right. Okay. So, go.
Why don't we try? What do you think about the gym?